Hello everyone, my name is SH Monsterarts, and today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 1989 from the 1989 film Godzilla vs. Bylon. Now you might be wondering, for an unboxing video, this package looks opened. And let me tell you, it's because I've had to film this 3 times now because of issues I've had with this figure. More on that later. Now, opening up, we have all your logos on the bottom left, nice claw mark view of the front of the box. Godzilla would have a nice window shot here, but unfortunately I can't get this figure back in. More on that later. So we have a nice promo image, more logos, Japanese font for Godzilla vs. Bylon. Coming around this side of the box, more of the name of the figure, nice claw marks there. Ignore that Bylon tentacle on back, we'll get on that later as well. Now, here in the back we get some nice promo images of the figure, a bunch of Japanese text that I can't read, hope you guys can. Here we have a nice Godzilla vs. Bylon promo image itself. Sorry, my lights are all directly on the things you want to be looking at with this box, but less on that. Again, for the 3rd time that I'm showing this now, as you can tell my sanity is peaking, we have a nice front view of the figure, more claw marks, name of the figure, SH Monsterarts logo. Let me just aim this up a bit. Sure, that works. And focus. Enough time on that. Now, we've seen pretty much all of the box. Top, Godzilla 1989, SH Monsterarts logo, blinding lights, claw marks. Bottom of the box, don't have to flip it this time, thank goodness. Japanese text I can't read, don't choke on this figure. Another nice image. Now you might be wondering, this review is also really late for this figure. And that is true, very true. I order through Awesome Collector, helps me save money on my figures. This is not an ad, this is just my personal preference, is to order through them because I like saving money on my figures because these things are expensive. Now, you'd think with something with a high price point, there wouldn't be any quality issues. Unfortunately, and I'm sure as many of you know, that is not the case. Opening up this figure, which looks good initially, right out of the box, this arm just was not connected. And then, after I connected it in my first showing, this hand popped off. Now, I might sound like I'm at my wit's end with this figure already, and I've just started the video, but let's pretend for the sake of the video that I'm not. Now, starting with the head, let's go over some more complaints that I unfortunately have. So let's zoom in all the way, make sure we're nice and focused so you guys can see. I'm going to pull this closer actually, just because I really want to point out that the paint on these teeth are not ideal. Now, initially you can see that they actually do have a very good bone color to them. However, the gums on this figure have just bled and turned all of my teeth almost into this bloody pink, which does look cool, but I know it's not intentional. Moreover, I don't know if this is an issue with my figure specifically, I would hope it is, but my jaw is very loose. I'm unable to do any sort of this kind of wiggling with any of my other Godzilla figures, and it is a bit concerning because I would assume it's a ball joint. I don't know what's holding it in back here, and I don't want to worry about the joint ever breaking, because then there would be no way to repair it. So let's keep that closed and keep your bloody teeth in there for now. Continuing with the rest of the head, as you can see, it is a very nice sculpt, very detailed with all of these rugged lines here in the neck. The head sculpt itself is very nice. I know some people are worried that it's not film accurate. Looks good enough by my standards. Very nice coloring in the eye. Thankfully, the eye is well painted on my figure. Then turning it around to the back a bit and lowering the camera, we can see that they use this very nice bony gray colored paint down to the spines. Let's zoom out a bit. Get you more of a view. Perfect. Then as you can see here, this is the infamous hand that I'm almost daring not to touch for this review because I am so worried that I will have to shoot this a 4th time. Now, we're just going to skip that arm and go down to the spines here, which as you can see look very nice. The traditional Heisei spines originate from the film Return of Godzilla in 1984. However, they do make a return in 89 to no surprise, and they look very good. Now, I also have heard people rave about the articulation in this tail, and from the limited amount of time I've had to mess around with it in my previous recordings of this video, it is indeed very nice. All the way down to that tail is an individual segment each one allowing for more and more articulation as the tail continues. I'm going to curve mine up so he's easier to stand for the remainder of this review, which will hopefully not be much longer because I've already been doing this for several minutes now. Then we're going to skip down to his feet. They look very nice. I really like the shaded and weathered yellow paint applications to give it a nice bone feel on the nails. The feet themselves have a very nice sculpt, and this is another quarrel I have with this figure. Bit more of a nitpicky issue than it is something serious, but I think the thigh gap on this figure is almost on par with the Monsterarts Godzilla at some angles. Not the Monsterarts Godzilla, the Monsterverse Godzilla. I think this is just a bit too wide for my liking, and it almost looks as though you'd be able to pull this down, but then you just create an issue with the groin here. Now, Monsterarts are no perfect figure, and I can't ever expect them to do seamless articulation, because obviously this figure is very good for what it is. I do believe it is worth the price point, barring any accessories, unfortunately. So save any money you can on this figure. In all honesty, it is not my favorite. I could be biased because of all the joint issues that I've been having, but in general, of course, it does look very nice, and I do believe it lives up to the Monsterarts quality that we've all come to expect, for better or for worse. Again, it looks pretty damn good. So hopefully no one else is having quite the troubles that I am, with arms coming off out of the boxes, wrists flying off during a review, and man, it has not been a good night for this figure. But I do look forward to making sure that all of its joints are in place, and let's just cut the shit and get right into some reviews. Reviews, we're doing one. Comparisons, that's what I'm looking for. Where's my burning Godzilla? I know he's around here somewhere. Oh god, what did I do with him? One moment, please. I really don't know where this figure just went. Oh my god, where is it? I swore I put it beneath me. Ah, it's too dark in this damn room. Here he is. Ignore that. So, as you can see, we have one of the early Heisei designs, and of course the design that would cap off the Heisei series era, however you wish to phrase it. You can tell very much that they are similar in design. That is obviously the intent. They were the same Godzilla, and ultimately I think they look good together. It's really cool to finally get an early Heisei figure. For a very long time, this has been my only Heisei Godzilla in my collection, and it is nice, despite its issues, to add another one. You do see some nice similarities between the two, especially in the dorsal shapes. The general sculpt as well, you can tell they are very similar. And again, I'm not saying any of this to complain, because it's a good thing. I just think that I've really reached my patience with this figure. It took forever to get here, and once it's finally here, it has several issues which I now have to overlook. This is to stay positive. However, let's bring out the original Godzilla, the 1954, the origin of all Godzilla content. I always love looking at this figure from the front. Very interesting comparison. As we can see, they do keep a lot of the same colors, actually. It's almost the same weathered gray that they use on both figures, although this one is a bit darker, which is meant to replicate the black and white tone of the film. Again, this is mostly for height comparisons, just to show you that he is a bit taller. And lastly, of course, let's get this old timer out of the way, put you into retirement. Let's get the villainess of the film, Bylont herself, who I also had trouble getting off of her display because she was just losing tentacles left and right, and then those tentacles would fall to the floor and break into more pieces. Again, my luck tonight has not been great, although, let me zoom out because she is absolutely massive. She does look proportional from her debut film to this new Godzilla. There was quite the height difference in the film, and it's nice to see that they did recreate that. I understand with the original Lights and Sounds Godzilla 1989 that was in the line, he was about to maybe up here. I never owned that figure, and I likely never will. But, so now instead of having your Bylon have to look all the way up there to match the Godzilla from her film, she can accurately look down on him as he struggles to fight her tendrils which hopefully don't snap off while I make this silly little joke about it. It's been a very rough night for this review, and I'm glad to just finally have it out. Next Godzilla review might be the Monsterarts Gigan Decisive Battle version. Not too sure, just because I already have the figure, and I tend not to do reviews on repaints or re-releases. Hence why I didn't do one for Bylon, even though that would have made a killing. Just because of the infamousy about this figure and how rare it has been for so long to finally own one. But like I said, it's nice to finally have these two together in the way that they should be. This, even though I've had countless troubles with this figure, makes me so happy to finally see. And honestly, I'm not even mad at the figure anymore. Seeing this on its own is just so nice that I genuinely forgive it. You are forgiven. Does that make you feel satisfied now? Will you stop losing your limbs everywhere? Anyways, you're all tired of hearing me ramble on. Generally, I'm going to give this figure a B. It's not my favorite by any means. It doesn't really do anything new or spectacular. It doesn't come with any accessories to really help sell it for its price point. But generally speaking, it fits as a monster art. It looks good. It's making me happy to see with Bylon here. So I guess it's doing its job. Hopefully I'll get this one displayed and I won't have to use it too much for stop motion and such, or I might lose my mind and take it out on the figure. That being said, thank you all for watching. My name's SH Monster Artist. Please stay tuned for more progress on Godzilla the Flaming Throne Part 3 and my various other projects that are in the works at the time. Take care, everyone.